What's up, everybody? It's me, Eman from Eman's Movie Reviews, and today we're going to review Creed 3. Alright, let's jump right into a quick intro. After dominating the boxing world, Adonis Creed has been thriving in both his career and family life. However, when his childhood friend Damian comes back from prison, Adonis is going to have to face off against his very dark past. Alright, enough of that. Let's get into the good.
The good.
Now, I think the strongest element that actually worked in favor for Creed 3 was definitely the acting. Michael B. Jordan gave a wonderful, well-balanced performance as Adonis Creed. I really appreciated how he was able to kind of let himself freely explore the emotional depths of his character in a very believable way. Now, Jordan's acting was certainly aided by talented supporting cast members such as Tessa Thompson. Now, she was a delight, and her chemistry with Jordan I thought felt very authentic. Felicia Rashad, she acted so well, especially in a particular scene that it was kind of inevitable to feel a little water in your eyes, if you know what I mean. One of my favorite performances was probably from Wood Harris, who played Duke. And you know what? Whenever he spoke, I just felt like he was the most relatable character for audiences. With all that said, it's no secret that Jonathan Majors practically steals the show. He was simply magnetic in every scene. Majors would do the smallest things that didn't even require dialogue, but simultaneously conveyed the conflicting emotions within his character. He would do little things like smile or walk a certain way that would just keep one guessing about what was really going on in his mind. Now, of course, regarding the role's physicality, Majors brought a commanding and intimidating presence that pushed Jordan's character. Now, I would also say that Majors played the perfect antagonist that at times you almost didn't know whether you should root for him or against him. Michael B. Jordan succeeded in adapting some of the visual styles found in Japanese animation regarding how some of the fights were shot. As an anime fan, I appreciated the tight shots going from the fighter to his opponent and transitioning into a slow motion impact from a devastating punch. It was a refreshing change of pace to see during the fights, and the cinematography really helped make the moment even more genuine. Now, the best part of the fights that I enjoyed the most was probably the element of strategy in boxing. It was really a brilliant decision on Jordan's part as the director to allow audiences to see what the boxer sees and to get a glimpse into what the boxer's thinking during the fight. In other words, rather than just showcasing two guys punching each other, Jordan gave us a front row seat into the chess match that happens behind every punch. Okay, enough of that. Let's get into the bad.
The bad.
Well, one thing that I thought kind of hindered Creed 3 was the editing of the movie. There were some noticeable moments where some of the story felt kind of choppy. This also gave the impression of the pacing feeling a little bit off at times. The tension between the two major characters were building up steadily, and then all of a sudden, things seemed to just pick up at a rather quick pace by the time we get to the second and third acts of the film. It almost felt like a mad dash just to hurry up and get to the final fight. As a matter of fact, even the final fight felt a bit shorter than it presented itself to be. I mean, when the bell rang, 12 rounds felt more like maybe just 3. Now, it's kind of hard to call it, but it felt as though the editing might have also affected the writing of the film, or maybe vice versa. The plot was just not only basic, but it was actually kind of predictable. While some things were fine to predict, like, a training montage or a good fight, many of the outcomes of the film were telegraphed early and often. I rarely felt the stakes in this film because some situations just felt contrived just for the sake of building up drama rather than having a more natural course of storytelling. I also thought that some of the scenes didn't really feel fully fleshed out. For instance, in the final act of the film, some characters achieve revelations, but how they come to those realizations doesn't really feel earned. Now, a minor concern that I had for Creed 3 is probably the interesting decision to shoot the big final fight in, let's just say, a more unconventional way. While I appreciated the originality and the creativity that Jordan implemented here, I also understand that the final fight is somewhat of a departure from what is visually expected from a film in this Creed franchise. Some of the more, let's just say, artsy shots might be a little distracting for some viewers even though it's obvious that the film was trying to make some themes a little bit more literal in a visual sense. Now, whether that's going to work for some people or not, I don't know. People are going to have to make up their own minds. Anyway, let's get on to the reason.
The reason.
Creed 3 is an entertaining watch thanks to an incredible performance by Jonathan Majors and bold stylistic choices by director Michael B. Jordan. Going back to its Rocky roots, this film is a drama first and a boxing movie second. That may be a bit of a letdown for some fans of the franchise, given how, the first two movies have some unforgettable boxing scenes. As long as you know that this film is primarily, first and foremost, about these two friends and their traumatic past, you can enjoy the film for what it is, rather than what the previous Creed movies established. Now, on a personal note, I'm just glad that this movie had nothing to do with Rocky whatsoever. While I do love Sylvester Stallone and what he brought with the Rocky franchise, the purpose of this Creed spinoff is to be all about Adonis and his journey. Creed 3 finally did what the previous two movies couldn't do, and that was to get out of Rocky's shadow. Now, I will say that Creed 3 was probably a really good start for a directorial debut for Michael B. Jordan, but he's got some work to do moving forward. And one thing he's going to have to work on is, maybe just not making your movies feel so familiar to your past films. Honestly, Creed 3 had Black Panther vibes all throughout. Just think of it like this. Jonathan Majors' character Dame was Killmonger, and Adonis Creed was basically T'Challa. The whole theme of leaving someone behind and neglecting them while the other one prospered just felt like Creed 3 copied Black Panther's homework. So when it comes to the rating for Creed 3, I've got to give it a 7.5 out of 10. Now, I would not put Creed 3 at the top of my list within the Creed trilogy. So far, I would say that the first Creed movie is absolutely the best one, hands down, definitely my favorite. And then, of course, the second one, and then Creed 3 comes in third. I just thought that the first movie had better writing, a lot stronger characters, and the boxing actually felt more realistic. I remember watching the first Creed movie thinking I was really watching an actual boxing match. I didn't really get the same vibes in Creed 3. Now, I will say that Creed 3 did get me intrigued for a potential spin-off that it might be setting up, and you'll know it when you see it towards the end of the movie. Either way, I was still entertained, still had a good time, so please be sure to go watch Creed 3 in theaters when you have a chance. So, do you plan on watching Creed 3? If and when you do, come on back to this video and let me know what you thought about it in the comments down below. Anyway, that's all the time I have for today. Thank you all so much for taking the time to watch my video. I really appreciate it. If you're new here and you like what you see, don't forget to like this video, subscribe, and don't forget to hit that bell so you don't miss out the next time I drop a video. I've got more videos and reviews to do for you all, and until next time, I'll see you all later.